So before we get into actually creating the circuit that we're going to be working with, I wanted to cover how to get help and how to use the environment for the microbit. Now, again, we're in the microbit page. We did this in an earlier video to get over to this particular section. You'll see a help menu here, or help button, and when you click it, it'll pop up and ask you if you want support or if you're looking for documentation. We're going to click on documentation, and that's going to open us up to the help page. Now, it looks like this when you first open it up, and it's got quite a bit of information on here, so you can jump ahead and start learning some of the other stuff that you can do with the microbit. But one of the things I wanted to point out is if you look here, it says API reference, and so it says microbit MicroPython API. Now, API stands for Application Programming Interface. And so what this is documentation to tell you specifically how to work with the microbit with Python and what type of application programming interfaces there are that you can work with. So when we click on that, it will actually open up another page here. Let me just click on it. I thought I had it open, but it'll give us a list of specific information relative to Python and how to work with a microbit. So there's quite a bit of information here. This is how you can dig in and learn some additional stuff that you can do with the microbit. Now, I'm going to take a look at this, and I wanted to cover just a couple things here. This is the microbit. This is looking at the back of the card, and if you remember, there's a 0, 1, 2, 3 volt and ground connection on the thing. But you'll also notice a bunch of other pads here, and this gives you a list of what those pads are, what they're called, and so forth. Now, you'll notice here that we have a pin 8, so this is called P8 on this particular diagram. But if you look up here, it actually tells you how to refer to each of these locations. So here is a little block of code, and you'll notice that it says if pin 0 dot read digital, and then it's got your open and close parentheses. Now, if you remember from an earlier video, this is what a function looks like. Anything that's got a name and then open and close parentheses. Sometimes it has parameters that get sent into the function. In this case, there aren't any. And this is something a little bit new, is having a something dot in front of your function. And basically you can think about this as an object. So like a glass of Coke, or it's some object that's sitting over on the table. And in this case, pin 0 references this pad right here on this image. So the pin 0 is an object, and the function that we're calling is related to that particular object. Now, you're going to see in the video where we're starting to play around with this thing that we are using pin 8. And if you look up here, here is pin 8. It's a digital pin, and from the last video you saw that digital means that it's either on or off. So it either has a voltage or it doesn't have a voltage. And so by us using pin 8, we're going to be, and I'm going to show how this stuff plugs together and how it works. We kind of saw it in an earlier video, but just to make sure that everybody's understanding exactly what we're doing here, we'll do another video with the hardware. But we're going to be using pin 8, and then on the circuit board that we're working with, which I'll show in the next video, I'll show you how to plug in the wires and how all that stuff works. So that is basically what we're looking at. You can scroll down here on the page and it gives you more information about that particular board. And you're going to see that there's a lot of research involved in making a robot or making a speedometer or whatever it happens to be. But as the kids learn, or as you learn more and more, you're going to get this stuff really quick. I mean, you'll start to pick this stuff up, and it'll be second nature to you, and you'll jump right into making up your own circuits at some point. So right now we're just learning the basics. But as we continue through this course, you're going to get really good at figuring out what's going on with the different things.